All right, we've seen the system throw an error. In this case, we saw the name error happening because I didn't define y as a legitimate variable. Well, this is going to happen at some point within your code. You may get this exception, you may get other ones, and we'll see another one here later on. But first, let's see how we can catch this error and output something appropriate or do something different, redirect, so that we don't crash the system. So to do this, we're going to use a try statement. Right before your code, in this case my print y, let me tab that in, I'm going to bring in try. So essentially, I want the system to try this right here, print y. So the system will say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and try this code right here. But if it throws an error, then I want to catch the exception. I want to catch the error. So I'm going to bring in except. And now right below the except statement, I'm going to tell it what to do if when it tries to print y, if an exception is thrown or an error is thrown, what it should do. So here I'm just going to print out a message. I'm going to say, let's say error occurred. U-R-R-E-D, is that right? All right, two C's, two R's. All right, looks good. So that right there, this is our try statement. So try this, and if there's an error, if there's an exception, I want you to do this. If there's no error, then it should just move on and do whatever it's supposed to do. So if I actually just drop down a line here, let's get rid of that white space because this isn't going to be a part of the except block, but I'm going to print out something else. We'll just say moving on. Alrighty, so let's try this. I'm going to go ahead and F5, I saved. I'm going to hit F5 to execute. Alright, so it's restarted my shell window. I got the error, right? But it didn't crash on me. I didn't get the red text to come up and say, hey, you got a name error. Because the error occurred, I can see that. I caught the error with the except statement, and then it's moving on. So it's not crashing, but the application continued to do its job. Now this is your try statement, right? Bring in your try, have it try whatever it needs to. This could be a single statement like I got here. It could be a block of code. Try that out, and if you get an error, then you're going to catch it with the except keyword. Now, this one here, using except, this is catching anything that happens. Doesn't matter, right? This is a name error explicitly. We saw that earlier, but this is going to catch anything that happens. In the next video, we'll take a look at catching specific exceptions, specific errors that may be thrown by your system. But first, before we do that, try this out. Get into a file, print out y. We didn't declare it. You're going to get an error. So get in there and bring in the try statement and do an except statement. Tell it what to do, whatever that is. I'll leave it up to you. You can copy this or try something else out. But once you got that, jump to the next lecture and we'll take a look at catching explicit exceptions, very specific ones.